first semester of MDP 1, we have discussed many ways in how business plays a role in society. Whilst we will not be discussing them all, we will be discussing the following aspects: corporate social responsibility, ethics, and stakeholders. Firstly, corporate social responsibility, or CSR. In 2015, Carroll suggested that CSR represents a language known globally that has become a necessity for a business, especially a modern business, to present the fact that it do more than simply make money and obey the law. Furthermore, in 1991, Carroll theorized the four-part model of CSR. At the base of the pyramid are the economic and legal expectations of the business, both required by society. Next are the ethical expectations expected by society, and at the top there are the philanthropic expectations desired by society. However, Carroll's theory of CSR can be argued as incorrect by Friedman, as in 1970 he stated simply that the social responsibility of business is to increase its profits. Regardless, there are many benefits of CSR. An example of a socially responsible business is Google, voted the most socially responsible company for 3 consecutive years by Forbes. They benefit by keeping a happy, engaged workforce, reducing turnover and maximising productivity. They also benefit by setting themselves apart from other businesses and sustaining a very high reputation, amongst other benefits. However, to obtain and promote good CSR can be costly, whether this be through advertising or reinvesting profits and offending shareholders. Whilst having good CSR is an ideal goal for a business to aspire to, realistically it isn't going to be a goal for every business. Elaine Steinberg argued that in support of Friedman, a business's responsibility is to primarily focus on profits for shareholders, not to look socially responsible.
Ethics is a very important topic in the world of business. There are 2 types of ethical theory, normative and descriptive. Normative theory is the rules and principles that have been laid out for a business to follow. Descriptive is discussing ethical phenomena. Descriptive theory represents idealism of ethics. However, normative can be seen as more reality and can be put into practice. Normative ethics is about knowing right from wrong in a company's values. Some principles that fall under normative theory is: it is wrong to take money from the company just because you want it. Companies should not pay anyone under minimum wage. People are to give money and time to charity and not expect anything in return. Descriptive ethics is about the way in which people reason with themselves to justify what they are doing. It is also about the motivations to practice ethical behaviour. An example of this is companies and people are motivated to be ethical and give money to charity. The motivation behind this in many cases is empathy. However, some companies give to charity for the sheer purpose of publicity, which makes them appear ethical but are in fact not. Next, an example of a company which is said to have poor ethical behaviour is Starbucks. An article in The Guardian newspaper in 2015 shows that Starbucks is in fact one of the lowest ranking ethical coffee shops. They have been criticised for violations involving trade unions and removing paid lunch breaks. Lastly, although the idealism of good ethics is what most companies find important, it doesn't always work in reality, as the main purpose of these companies is to make money, and sometimes being ethical can have very high costs.
A stakeholder is anyone inside and outside the business who have taken an interest in the business and its output. They can both positively and negatively impact actions taken by the company. They believe that companies are networks of parties that work towards a shared goal to create mutually beneficial results. This is otherwise known as the stakeholder's perspective. Since stakeholders are ultimately anyone who has an interest in the organisation, there is many different stakeholders in every business. These can include owners, shareholders, employees, banks, customers, suppliers, competitors, government, media, and interest groups. These stakeholders can be classified in relation to their power and interest in the actions of the company through the power and interest matrix. This consists of a matrix with subjects, players, context setters, and crowds. Subjects have high interest but low power in the company, whereas players have high interest and high power. Context setters have low interest but high power, and crowds have low interest and low power in the company. This matrix helps companies notice where certain stakeholders are and how much power and interest they have. Many businesses' reasons for success is through satisfying these stakeholders. An example of one business that shows this is Apple. This company's main stakeholders consist of customers, employees, investors, suppliers, and distributors. Apple have success in this by having whole firms dedicated to addressing the interests of their stakeholders, which shows just how important they are to the company. Since Apple's stakeholders can directly affect their success, they have to stay on top of what their stakeholders want.